Hey, so a few days ago, a young man walked into my gym and he looked very upset. I was filming some videos and I had to stop to speak with him because he seemed as if he was troubled by something. And after a few short moments of conversation, it came to the fact that he was very uncomfortable with the fact that there are people online, other YouTubers or bloggers of that sort, that attack me, Elliott Hulse, in a way that sort of devalues or invalidates the things that I talk about in my videos. The young man was very upset, not only with the fact that people take stabs at me, and apparently I've had some form of impact positively on his life, but also that I don't stand up for myself. He says, "Don't you know that there are these guys out there that are speaking about you in this way, Elliott? And I know that you're right. A lot of the things that you're saying, they resonate with me. Why is it that you don't stand up for yourself? And why is it that you don't debate when people ask you out and challenge you to a debate in these ways, especially to validate the ideas you share in these videos?" And I answered him, and we had a really great conversation, and he walked away pleased. But I also realized that he's probably not alone, and that there might be many of you out there who have been impacted positively by the ideas that I share through these videos, and wonder, why is it that Elliott doesn't take up the challenges? Why doesn't he debate? Why doesn't he seek to prove himself as right and true in a world where everybody values and looks up to those who can do that? So I sat down today to write a response, actually, to people who would think that way, and perhaps even those who do take stabs at me. And as I typically do, in my Elliott Hulse fashion, it became a poem as opposed to just a response. And if you've been watching my videos for long enough, you probably know that's the way I am. My ideas are far less rigid and right, and far more poetic and artistic. But anyway, you might find some value in this short poem that I wrote a few minutes ago in my backyard, completely raw, unedited, and the way I do things. And like I said, I'm going to be bringing more raw, authentic videos to you in this particular way, so I hope you enjoy this. Here we go. This might sound strange, even blasphemous to some of you, especially given the strength of my conviction and almost arrogant display and presentation. But in contrast to how I may appear in my videos, I am not interested in validating any points or proving anything. I'm not interested in being right or proving anyone else wrong. And my deepest agenda is this: to invite people to hear and trust their own voice, to experiment and experience life to its fullest, to break down the personal walls of dogma, superstition, and rigid thinking. Mine is an invitation to express yourself creatively and to offer yourself as an artistic masterpiece to the world. To me, life and all of its endeavors are less about being right and respectable and more about creativity, self-expression, joy, and love. Some will say that my approach is lazy or irresponsible, but I ask you this: what takes more courage? To stand alone against the winds of opposition while maintaining a strong sense of identity and authenticity? Or to stand with the opinion of the day, resting on the mass consensus and pointing to outside references for self-validation? By the way, I know that it's human nature to cultivate a sense of validation. Some people choose to seek it without, and some choose to seek within. Those who rest solely on objective evidence risk living cold, sterile, rigid lives. Those who rest solely on subjugation or feelings risk living wild, ungrounded, and chaotic lives. If I go back to my metaphor of your life being an artistic masterpiece, which is a pleasing idea to most people, you have to ask yourself, who actually is the master of your piece? Are you creating your life with earthy tones, green vibrance, and the rosy hue of blood as it moves closer to the surface of the skin, like a child after running and playing? Or are you focused on the stark contrast between black and white, holding firmly to the various shades in between that create shadows which point to the existence of a thing without even actually experiencing the thing? I think a true masterpiece is one that is both subjective and organic, as well as objective and scientific. Like I said, my deepest personal agenda, based on my experiences, both traumatic and ecstatic that I've had is to invite you back to subjective and organic experiencing of life, rather than the popular philosophy of reductionism that creates the scaffolding of our most dominant world culture. And like I said, subjectivity is never about being right or winning. It's about creativity and experiencing life at its rawest. And given this message, even so, there will be people who once again express their conviction, either unique or borrowed, that Elliott is wrong. Please know this. I expect you to disagree with me, because I expect you to have your own experience. And if the things I say rub you wrong, if there's a visceral response, one that you feel in your body towards my words or even my person, the way I look, it means you're having a subjective experience, and for this I am glad. If you feel that you need to discharge the energy that I've stimulated in you by hurling insults, calling me names, or asserting that I am wrong, for this I am also glad. But if you seek to provoke me into some sort of debate where you might be able to strengthen your sense of self by proving me wrong as you approach your mental throne of rightness, I will not resist you. There's no need to attack me because you are right. And if that makes you feel superior to me, then know this. I am just a fool who creates art. Congratulations. Done.